I don't think it's necessarily bloodlust. I don't necessarily think it's barbaric. I think in that moment, your instinct is, oh, God, their star player went down. This could help us. Or you might think that, oh, Kevin Durant is faking an injury. Or Kevin Durant's trying to draw a foul. And in that instinct, in that moment, you are so wrapped up in the emotion of the game that you begin to cheer. And then as your better sensibilities take and you see the Raptors players calm everybody down, then suddenly the arena was quiet, understood the severity of the moment, and then began chanting KD's initials. I think any fan base would do that. And I don't know, maybe that just means my bar is low for humanity in sporting events. But let's be honest, Mraz. Eagles game, Giants game, okay? You're watching the Giants. It's an NFC playoff game. And Carson Wentz goes down after being sacked and stays down. Isn't your first reaction to cheer, yeah, we knocked out the quarterback?
Yes, it is. It is.
And if you then found out that night on Twitter or that day during the game or the next morning that Carson Wentz's career was in jeopardy, you don't feel so good cheering it anymore, and then your emotions change a little bit.
Exactly. But heat of the moment, look, I think this is a really weird line we walk with sports where we're afraid to admit something. It's okay to be instantly happy if something benefits your team like an injury. You're not rooting for death. You're not rooting for career-ending injuries. It's okay if an opponent comes up lame with a sprained ankle in an NFL game or an NBA game and he leaves the game and you're happy and you fist pump to your buddy next to you. This is good for us. I know that sounds cruel, but that's okay.
But everybody does that.
Right, that's okay. It benefits your team. It's okay. Now, ultimately, you don't want to see a guy's career end. Certainly you're not rooting for death out there. But an injury, a small injury to an opponent, I think that's okay to be happy about. I really do. Now, overly cheering if the guy has to have a stretcher or people pick him up off the floor, yeah, you want to stop it. You're not doing that, and that's not what happened. In the moment, your instant reaction was this guy's down in a league where people flop or people are looking for drama. I mean, this is a league where Paul Pierce got wheeled off in a wheelchair.
Because he had to go to the bathroom.
Right, because we found it was. So how could you blame the fans in that moment as they're trying to win a championship for not being happy?
I honestly don't. Now, if they would have cheered Kevin Durant hobbling off the floor, if this is a guy on crutches and they're going crazy cheering, then it turns into, I think, a little bit barbaric. But
sure.
In that moment, your instantaneous reaction is, KD's down. This is great for us. You're not even thinking about the severity of this. You know, like in the AFC Championship game, if Tom Brady went down and came up and pulled his hammy and starts kind of like limping off the field, you're telling me Chiefs fans shouldn't be allowed to like fist pump or be like, yes, Brady's out of there. Brady's going to be gone. This is huge for us. Now, if you find out Brady tore his Achilles and he's done, his career is done, and you're still cheering the next day, then I'd say maybe you need to check yourself. But in the moment, no, I don't think that that's wrong or unfair, or they should be destroyed for being too cruel.
Well, I also think the visual matters. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe they are heathens, but if Kevin Durant had been like undercut, dunking, and slammed on the court and was unconscious,
right?
I don't think that's that celebration, that momentary yes happens because you're like, oh my God, he's hurt. They just look over, he's got a calf injury, he's on the court, he's grabbing the same area. They think, okay, he tried, it didn't work, and off he goes. If he was really hurt, if this was Yusuf Nurkic with a snapped leg, or Paul George in the stanchion,
Gordon Hayward twisting it around,
right? Or Tom Brady getting level and he's unconscious, and that crazy sick frozen knocked out thing, that doesn't happen. I think that them just thinking, oh, his calf is hurt again, I think makes you quicker to be like, yes. And again, this has happened before. It's going to happen again. People suck. We do dumb things as fans. Everyone's so aghast last night that it happened. I still can't believe that we freaked out so much about this.
Yeah, it's like everybody just is waiting, obviously, with bated breath to trash somebody at every single instant, and then there's always revisionist history. But you can't tell me if Kawhi Leonard in Game 6 at Oracle goes down with a hamstring pull that the Oracle fans won't cheer initially as well. I mean, it's not like suddenly Raptors fans are so much more bloodthirsty than any other fans.
Right.
It's just that this is what fans do. The initial reaction is, oh, this could help my team. And then hopefully level heads prevail and you realize the severity of a situation, and then you start being respectful about it.
I know I've slapped hands with my father on a Sunday afternoon if the Giants have knocked Romo out with a collarbone injury, which has happened. I know I have. And you know what? I'm watching Romo call CBS games. I don't feel bad about it because the guy has lived a fine life and he's successful. I know I have, and I'm not sorry.